All right, well, welcome to 1 Million Cups here. We are live here at Thinker Ventures. This happens every Wednesday, give or take, most Wednesdays, actually. Somewhere around 9 a.m., where we hear from an entrepreneur, small business owner, or another interesting person. The cool thing that they're doing in the Rockford area today, we have a special treat for you. Actually, two special treats. I don't want to give them away just yet, so I'm just baiting you. First, I have the obligatory reading of the news. Your coffee sponsor today, and I want you to give him a round of applause, is Julie Bork from Calvary Bookkeeping. Let's give Julie a hand. I don't see her in the audience. Yes, Calvary Bookkeeping. She was actually a presenter a couple weeks back talking about small business bookkeeping and what she does in the area. So if you need small business bookkeeping or you want to know how to do your bookkeeping better, talk to Calvary Bookkeeping and Julie Bork. Oh, what's upcoming? Nothing. It's summer. That's what it says. Nothing. It's summer. If you know of an event in this Rockford area, business-related or tangentially business-related, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll take the catchbox courtesy of City of Rockford, and you'll speak into the catchbox, and you'll tell the world, all over the world, the cool things that are happening in the Rockford area. You had an event? All right.
This Saturday at the Norwegian.
Ooh, the Norwegian.
At the Norwegian. Everybody loves the Norwegian. They are hosting a Bach to Rock harp concert. And most of the proceeds, there's a $10 suggested donation at the door. And most of the proceeds are going for the Rockford Symphony Youth Orchestra. Great organization.
Awesome.
Oh, and if you've never heard Stairway to Heaven on a harp, you've got to be there. It is awesome.
Cool.
I think it's 6:30. It's on Facebook.
Bach to Rock, Norwegian, Bach to Rock, somewhere around 6:30. Yes, way in the back.
Kiwanis has their brat days Friday and Saturday. So
Oh, yeah.
There's 3 locations. They moved one to Cherry Vale. The one that was at Kmart is now at Cherry Vale. There's the one in Edgebrook, and then there's the one at 173.
Yeah,
the
Brat
old
Days.
Mars. So
Awesome. Kiwanis Brat Days. Fantastic. We have another. Oh, Cassie with the announcement.
It's Culture Crawl this Saturday, so you can go to all the museums.
Ooh.
And then at 6 at Midway Village Museum in the Victorian Village part, Miles Nielsen and the Rusted Hearts will be playing from like 6 to 9. Food trucks, that beautiful location at the village where you can just come in and sit and drink and listen to music.
Awesome.
So.
Piggybacking on that, I think it's Tour de North this Saturday as well. So if you want to start the revelry in the morning, you go to Tour de North, and then you can continue it in the evening.
All the museums, I think it's free. I'm not sure. I know it's cult, but all the museums are involved. And then at night, it's 21 and up. So all the kids are tired because it's so hot, and they've been looking at all the museums. They go home, and then we all get to go listen to music.
Tour de North
It's the bike.
is a bike ride around the north end of Rockford. There's stops along the way. I think they're stopping at Nickel World. They'll stop at Olympic Tavern. They'll stop at Pinnins. They stop at something else, some Rathskeller. Yeah, all the great places that you probably don't visit very much. Go up Tour de North. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Starts in the Olympic. And it's loosely a bike ride.
Loosely a bike ride. Yes. It's the see if you can still bike ride. Anybody else? No? All right, well, we've got a special treat this morning. There's a backstory to this. The backstory on this is I was riding around with my boys last night in the car, and for some reason they listened to some pretty cool rap music. And I started rapping some nursery rhymes because why not? So, to jumpstart the fantastic presentation that we have today, we are going to have a rap battle with nursery rhymes with Jorge Herrera from Rockford Bank and Trust and me. Would you welcome Jorge?
Oh, I go first?
Oh, what? I don't know. So who's, do we have to flip for it?
Let's flip.
Okay. Heads or tails? What?
How about?
Oh, rock, paper, scissors? Okay. Oh. Oh. So that's a, how's this, does this win? Paper covers rock?
Yeah.
All right.
You just won.
I did? Oh, see, I don't know these things.
So are you going first or I go first?
You go first.
He always has the option.
I'm going to choose a random beat. This is here's your thing. I'll use this microphone. You can use that microphone. I'll choose a random beat. We're going to choose something with just instrumental. I've never heard these beats before. Ready? Now we need the nursery rhyme. What nursery rhyme are we doing? Cat? Humpty Dumpty? All right, Humpty Dumpty. We got Humpty Dumpty?
Okay.
Come on, Jorge. Come on, give us some hype. Will you? There we go. Come on, it's okay. I know we're in the Midwest, but it's okay. Jorge, we're people too.
Humpty Dumpty sat in the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Together again.
Together again. All right.
Nice. Should I stick? So what do I do? Do I get a new beat, or do I have to? I get a new beat. All right. How about this beat? I don't know this beat.
Nursery rhyme, what do you guys have?
Three blind mice?
Three blind mice.
Do we have three blind mice?
All right, what else?
No, here, it's probably in the back. I'm sure we got it. We printed off a bunch of nursery rhymes. Just cause you're all like, I thought we were gonna learn about e-commerce. I thought we were gonna launch a website. Do we got it? Just grab one? Okay. Which one? Oh, jeez. Hickory dickory dock? Oh, yeah. Oh, hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. Oh, the clock struck 1. The mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. Oh, yeah. Hickory dickory dock.
All right.
All right.
What else?
One more for Jorge. We're going to get a new beat. I don't know why I'm holding this. Why am I holding this? It seems right.
All right. Let's see here.
Here we go with this one. Here you go. You're going to choose yours now.
Hey diddle diddle.
Hey diddle diddle. What?
Hey diddle diddle, the cat in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon.
Over the moon?
The little dog laughed to see so much fun, and the dish ran away with the spoon. What? The dish ran away with the spoon? What? And the dish ran away with the spoon.
You can go. You can hold that. All right, one more. You gotta stay up here with me. It's the rules.
Oh my.
I don't know what this one. This one's called "Gotta Go." Sounds remarkably like the other one. What's the nursery rhyme? Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Oh, jeez. Here you go. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? A Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. With silver bells and cockle shells. With Mary, I got stuck at cockle shells. I didn't know what they are. It's probably a flower.
Maybe.
All right. Pretty mates all in a row. All right. See, now that amps you up for this, didn't it? Nice job.
So you too could get called upon next week. So wait for it.
Nobody's going to come. Nobody's going to come. They'll be like, no, I'm here just for the coffee. All right. See, don't tell anybody that we're not all business. All right, I'm going to set this down over here. Do you mind?
Sure, I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. No heckling. Well, today, are you ready for this? I think an email went out and said we're going to launch a website or something. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to punt this one. So if you don't know what we do and why I'm wearing this shirt, I normally dress up for you. But today I'm wearing my Startup Weekend shirt from Madison last year. So Startup Weekend happens every year. Actually, in this area, we host it. It happens in the fall. But it happens all around the globe. It's hosted by Techstars and sponsored by Google, where a team comes together on a Friday night, and then that team develops an idea. Everybody pitches an idea. They just settle on one. This team of, let's say, 6 people then produce this concept and then present it on Sunday afternoon. The winner can walk away with eternal glory and the envy of their friends. Plus, sometimes it's a reasonably good idea, and they go off and they run with it, and it becomes a product or a service. So, how does this happen? Well, this happens with what I call, and what actually I didn't call it, I'm copying it. It's called the minimally viable product. If you have an idea, what I tend to find is that many people get stuck in perfecting their concept. Why? Because it's fun to perfect their concept. Or the idea is not actually thought through at all, and it's just like, I got this idea, and then you make a name for it, and you make a logo for it, and you tell all your friends about what great ideas it's going to be, and you have no concept of what it's actually going to take to produce. Both versions of this, both roads that you might go down are disaster. Time, money, pain, heartache. And so what I want to do is I want to set a framework that I might talk about at a startup weekend. I've hosted startup weekends here. I've facilitated startup weekends in Purdue University. This is a shirt from when I facilitated startup weekend in Madison last year. I know the startup space well. Normally we do consulting with larger entities, but this is the fun part. This is like a lot of energy behind it. So I'm going to give you a lay of the land. And so if you've got an idea that's burgeoning in your mind, or if you have a friend who tells you at a party, hey, I got this great idea, you can talk to them intelligently about what to do next. Fair? Great. So I've got my whiteboard here, and I've got some tools, and I've got all the stuff that's sitting in my brain about how to proceed. We're going to play this just like a startup weekend. I don't know what product or service we're going to launch. You're going to tell me. I've never heard your product or service before. You just tell me your product or service. Who's got a product or service that you want to launch? Doesn't even have to be good. Go ahead.
Doesn't have to be. Gifts from God.
Gifts from God. All right. What is gifts from God?
I do calligraphy
Okay.
and old-fashioned or Old English lettering, to be specific.
Old English calligraphy. All right, that's cool.
And last year I,
Hold on, you know what we should do? We should get you the catch box so we can hear you.
okay,
Otherwise, people can't hear you.
all right. So it all started about 10 years ago
Okay?
when I got this idea to give my kids a gift from God.
Okay?
And so I did calligraphy, and I wrapped just on a little piece of paper, and I took the words and I put them in gift boxes and wrapped them up and put it in front of the Christmas tree and had a little gift bag, and on the front of the gift bag it said Gifts from God. And we opened our gifts that we gave each other, and then when we got done with that, my oldest daughter said, well, Mom, are you going to tell us about gifts from God? And I said, yeah, just like we all gave gifts to each other today, God gives each one of us gifts. And, you know, sometimes we take those beautiful gifts and we just put them up on the shelf and we don't use them, or maybe there's times when we should be compassionate and we don't choose to use that gift.
Yeah.
So I had them go around and they pick their gifts, and it's kind of become a tradition for our family where I do my calligraphy every year, and everybody picks their gift from God.
Okay.
So last year I did the same thing, only I put the little pieces of paper in little boxes and made them pretty and tried to sell them. And I did okay with it, but I've got this idea in the back of my mind that I can market this and, make a little money on the side, and it's just a hobby that I have.
Have you talked to friends and family about this?
Oh, yeah.
What did they say?
Oh, everybody likes the idea. They think it's a good idea.
Did anybody buy anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Awesome. Cool. So gifts from God. Interesting idea? Intriguing enough to start?
I've seen it. It's very touching. She makes
You've seen them?
people cry.
And
People cry.
would you buy, they make people cry. All right. Would you buy one?
I would.
All right. Fantastic. So should we run with this idea? Sure. Let's do it. Gifts from God. So in a nutshell, one sentence, why do you do this? You personally, what's in it for you?
The words have meaning. And like my sister, every year, the word that she picks, it's her word for the year.
Ooh. Okay.
And she lives by that word. And it's always the right word. If that makes any sense.
I got it. Yep. I do that same thing.
Why do you inspire people?
So what's why do you personally connect with this? So it's the right word, people connect with it. Why do you do it?
Why do I do it?
What's it give you? What's the benefit?
It gives me peace.
Peace? Why?
It gives me comfort.
Okay. Why? Where does that come from?
My heart.
Okay.
I love doing calligraphy.
Okay.
I'm not only giving to others, but I'm getting in return.
You're kind of a giver?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Okay, so you're kind of helper personality?
Uh-huh.
All right, so you wrap yourself around this person. You want to help them find their word, and then you're going to create something, and you want them
Well,
to...
it's not like I don't like say, okay, you need this word
Yeah.
and give you that word. The word you get is totally at random.
Okay.
Because I mean, I do a list of words.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm giving you the word. It's God giving you that word.
But you're
Okay.
creating the opportunity
Right.
for the word to be, yeah.
Right.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. So we have a limited period of time, so I'm going to be like
Okay.
a little bit punchy.
Okay.
Okay, so your why is peace and comfort through calligraphy. Yeah? To inspire change, leverage kind of this idea of a conduit that you're gonna put your thing out there, and then I'm gonna live off of that for a year. Yeah. Okay.
Give people hope.
All right. So how do you deliver this? How do you deliver on this thing? Is it painting? Is it a writing? Is it a paper? Is it a
It's a little piece of paper.
little piece of paper?
Yep.
Okay. Wrapped in something. Talk to
Wrapped.
me about the design of this.
Last year, I just went and bought little wooden boxes.
Okay.
And put some tissue paper in there or some little stuff, and then put the word in there and wrapped it so it looked really pretty. And that's how I sold them. You got one from a silent auction, didn't you?
Diane, she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's a little piece of paper in some sort of cool wrapping.
In a little gift box.
And where would I use that? Where would I put it?
You could put it on your desk.
Okay.
You could just take the word out and put the word on the inside of your kitchen cabinet, and you could put the word on your computer. I have them hanging on my refrigerator.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So I can put this word anywhere. How does it affix to, if I would put it on my cabinet, how would I affix it to my cabinet?
Put some tape on the back of it and
Okay.
put it on your refrigerator.
Have you ever thought of upgrading it to something a little more durable?
Like a magnet. I've thought of different things like that, yeah.
All right. So here's the pretty good process that I'd walk through. I'm just going to set this here for now. That looks pretty, doesn't it? All right, let's talk about how businesses operate. I think every business operates the exact same way. Anytime you get people together to do anything, I think it goes exactly like this. You can argue with me if you think it's different. I think it begins with awareness. I either become aware that you sell something or provide some service that I need, or I come in contact with whatever it is that you provide, and then I suddenly go, oh my gosh, I do need that. You kind of inspire the need for me. I can prove that needs are inspired because every infomercial you've ever watched, where at the beginning of the infomercial you thought no, and at the end of the half hour you're like, yes, give me 5 of those right now, and you didn't need it. Half hour before you didn't need it, right? So there's an inspirational need and there's a need that I have, okay? It begins with awareness. You make some sort of promise, you make it with some sort of action taken, so you've got some visual behind it and some method of delivery. That promise then inspires me to move forward into my sales process. This sales process could be different for every type of product or service. If it's gum, that sales process might begin with some sort of ad that you saw, but then that sales process is just this gum sitting out right next to the checkout process, or checkout, right? And it's like a 10-second look. Oh my gosh, in fact, I haven't chewed gum for a while. I need gum, right? Or if you're buying a big machine to cut components, it might be $1 million and you're going to take delivery it in 2 years. That sales process could be a year or 2 or 5 or 20, where you're just kind of going an iterative process, right? Going around with quotes and all that nonsense, right? Sales. So we go from awareness, we set the stage, we go through sales, we fulfill, then, assuming that you said yes to my sales pitch, we go through some sort of fulfillment. That is also different for every sort of product or service, right? Your process of fulfillment. Assuming you're also doing a good job in business, you have post-sale service and support. I've gone from awareness to sales to fulfillment to post-sale service and support. If I've done a really great job through all of that, we end up with referral or repeat business. This is the process for organic growth. One person drops in the top. Ideally, through this process here, we generate more than one person coming back to the top. Okay? Organic growth. We can also speed this process up. We can put in time or we can put in money at the top to make more people aware or generate or make our pitch clearer. We could spend money figuring out a target market or time testing, and we will ideally generate better or more awareness up top, which will yield sales, which will yield our fulfillment process, post-sale service and support. And so if I drop $1 in the top and I don't get $1 plus at the bottom, I also don't have a process of profitability, and I can tell you, guaranteed, something is broken. Agreed? Where's the something that's broken? Well, pretty clear, somewhere in here. The cool thing is each one of these stages is very measurable. In awareness, we know how many people, or we could calculate if we're paying attention, we could calculate how many people we got in front of. Eyeballs, okay? We also know how many leads we generated here, so we'll call this eyeballs. We know how many leads we generated here. We know our conversions here. And then we get into operations, where we break it down into can we fulfill this thing profitably in a given time frame, right? There's a whole ball of wax unto its own. And then post-sale service and support. So each one of these things is measurable. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So let's bring this back to your concept. We have gifts from God. Why? Because it gives you peace, it gives you comfort. You do it, you've got a storyline behind it, you've got a family that's been involved in it, and you've got a benefit that came out of there, so you can demonstrate, just like an infomercial, demonstrate the positive effects that are generated when you do this thing, right? It's a word for the year. You know, it happens to be the right word. We're going to pick something for you, and you're going to live off of that. We're going to wrap it. It's going to be special. It's going to be separate. It's going to have its own space. It's going to be apart, right? It's going to be set apart from everything else in your life, and you're going to set yourself apart from all the other people living inspirationally because of this thing. You can fix it to your desk, you can fix it to your cabinet, you can fix it to your car, you can fix it anywhere you want to see it. Yeah? Pretty clear? Great. Now, let's say you want to make people aware of that product. How would you go about doing that? Knowing it's going to follow this process.
Word of mouth.
Okay.
Internet. Social media.
Okay.
I think there's a multitude of ways.
There are. Which ones would you use?
Social media, probably.
How?
Well, obviously you'd need a landing page or some kind of a tool to lead people to.
Okay.
That was effective to tell people about what you have to offer.
I think you need an image of that woman telling the story of, I picked this word and it was the perfect word for him. So you need some story.
Visuals.
Okay. Absolutely. So up in awareness, I'm going to lump social media, word of mouth, and a video or a story. Why? Because you actually don't need a website. You don't need to sell anything to make people aware of this, right? So these are our awareness tools up here, where we're going to inspire people to click, to take the next action. And we have to connect with some sort of need. What do they want out of their life? Where's their pain point? Right?
Right.
That's going to be story. I'm glad you said that. That's huge, 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 huge. I have a workshop that I do called Power Storytelling. And in that workshop, we completely make the point that we all buy stories. And in the absence of a story, we make our own with very few pieces of information. We build an entire world around these handful of touch points. And we take action off of that. We always take action off of our beliefs. Our beliefs are built on stories, not on facts. We'll get into that in just a minute. All right, landing page is going to be sales. There's some easy ways to build landing pages, easy ways to sell. We're going to walk you through one in a little bit. How do you fulfill this thing? You're going to get a sale, right? That's going to say what do you need from the customer to be able to build this thing?
I need their name, their address. I need where to send the product to.
Okay.
Or how I can contact them to deliver the product to them.
Okay. Tell me how this makes it special and separate and apart.
How it makes it special, separate.
Yeah, talk to me about right in here. I'm going to come to a landing page. So first I'm going to see this video. I'm just hypothetically saying this. I'm going to see this video of a family gathered around there. It's going to be your family, and you're going to be there with your kids. And you're going to show, this is great. You're going to show the young kids, right? And then you're going to come back, and it's going to have another video. It's going to cut to as the kids grow. And then those kids, those bigger kids, are going to have kids, and you're going to cut to another, and you're going to see how this generational stuff and how they're living out their words. Okay, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be inspirational. People are going to cry. Tell me, in the sales process, on this landing page, as I go through the sales process, how do I believe that this sales process is also separate and apart and special and more amazing than me just saying, okay, I'll take one?
I don't know, you tell me.
Social media, well, I think it would be important to have a social media presence. Does it feel like the right place for this because it depersonalizes it a little bit? I would go about marketing to church groups and youth groups and, you know, even get maybe a couple groups where each of the members gets one, and this is a little bit of time and effort on your part because it's free, but then you hope that they spread the word and they buy it for their families. Because that feels more personal, and it's also related to something they're doing, again, youth group, church groups,
Sure.
Bible study.
Right.
That's a good option. I'm going to tuck that back up in awareness. We'll come back to that. In your sales process, how am I going to go through a checkout process, and it's going to be separate and apart and special? Because you set the stage here up in awareness that this is going to be the right word for me. It's going to be so special and amazing that it's going to set my year.
Well, the process has to be simple.
Okay, you're going to have it simple. We can agree to that. But what's special and amazing and wonderful and separate and apart?
It would
The aha.
You get to like, oh my gosh, this is my word. And then you buy it.
I like the anticipation of not knowing the word until I get the package.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had words packaged for birthdays and words packaged for the new year?
Yeah, I
Words
thought of that as
packaged-
well, or for different holidays.
Yeah, packaged
Yeah.
differently for whatever occasion I'm buying it for. I'm buying this for someone else,
Right.
usually.
Right, I think that's right. There's typically, the person buying it is buying it to give it to somebody else. And, you know, it's like we give gifts, physical gifts at Christmas or other times of the year, but many were born with certain traits and characteristics, and some of them are developed later in life. And these words are just a reminder of these gifts that we were born with.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. I know nothing about this, but we're going to build a minimally viable product. I'm going to suggest that you're going to have to ask, you don't have to do anything. I'll rephrase that. See, I'm like punchy.
Slow down.
What we want to do is we want to build a survey. We're going to have a handful of questions which are going to miraculously guide you to a proper choice. And I think it's the right solution, because if you were to talk to me about something, I bet, since you're such a helper personality, you're going to want to know something about me, and you're going to kind of come alongside of me mentally and get into my head, and then you're going to go, you know what? I think this word, because they're not actually random, are they? They're not random. I think you sense or feel a word, and you go, you know what? I'm going to pick that word. I'm just going to go on a limb there, right? And I think that there's part of this special sauce, there has to be a little handful of smoke and mirrors. Here's why I say that. Way back in the day, I sold heating and air conditioning equipment, and we had this configurator where you actually do need to configure equipment. You need a furnace attached to what's called an A coil, and then you need a line set, which is copper tubing, which runs out to the outside air conditioner, and then you need a breaker, and you need all these gizmos and gadgets to be able to make this thing function. And we had a database that you could get this information out of, an entirely built kit, just specially designed for you. The thing was we had to go through a survey process. It was about 6 questions, and all visual. And I select this one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and boom, in milliseconds, I would build a kit for you and say, this is what's special and amazing for you. But you know what? People don't think it's that easy. They don't trust it when it just happens. Instead, after you clicked go, we had a little thing that said, building your kit. Nonsense. That thing was built. All the options, ready to go. I could have given you thousands of combinations. But they're like, ooh, you have this special configurator. Sure did. Because people buy it that way. I'm suggesting that you actually probably need or could incorporate some sort of aha moment. Aha, sort of this, we're going to choose the special thing for you, not sacrificing this idea that you're going to get a random, to me, word, but it's going to be chosen specially, right? Yes, sir.
Well, that's
We're praying over this while we wait.
expectations-wise, vitamins and pills are much bigger than they actually could be, because people, if they're too small, people say, well, they can't be effective. So they put all this, so most of a pill or a vitamin is filler, because the mind says it's not effective unless it's so big.
Yeah, the Motorola did this with one of the first cell phones. They did it because the cell phone was so light, in user testing, everybody thought it was a toy. It's a multi-$100 cell phone, so what they did, they put weights in it. It's a little cell phone like this. They just added some weights so it felt substantial, because otherwise people thought, that's not worth it. It's too light. And now we just can't get enough of how light and thin can this thing be, right? So perceptions change. I'm going to create an account here with Squarespace. So Squarespace, I'm moving ahead here. We're after a minimally viable product. I'm going to gloss over a handful of details here because I think you can make it up. When you have your first order, you can figure out how to fulfill it. Why? Because it's a piece of paper. You can ship a piece of paper. Not complicated. right? If you were building a big machine, we'd be having a different discussion. That's not a minimally viable product. But yours is a minimally viable product. I got this tiny thing that I can ship. I need a way to make people aware. Do you think you could shoot a video of somebody who received the product, who would want to give a testimonial about the product and how inspirational it was to them? Do you think you could come up with a handful of bullet points that you'd want them to say as part of their pitch, kind of a pitch, right? Where I would talk to, or I would ask this person to say, I would direct them, because what I want to hear is I want to hear benefits, I want to hear feelings, I want to hear emotions, because everybody makes decisions off of their feelings. It has nothing at all to do with facts. It's just my feelings. Right? Same as the old cell phone that they had to put weights in. The truth is, it didn't need weights. The thing worked fine without weights. But everybody felt that's not worth it. Why? Well, it's just not, I'm used to it, right? It's always a feeling motivator to make a decision. So we're going to have to hear something about how special, how separate, how apart, how much that inspired. What did you get through because of that? Right? You see where I'm headed with that? Handful of bullet points, and then you're going to shoot a quick video on your cell phone. Very simple. So we're going to call that done. We need a video, we need a story. We just need one for now. You could go get 2 or 3 or 5. Okay? You're going to need some photos. You'll stage that photo in a place that is inspirational and separate and apart, wherever you feel like this person's going to use the product. Because if you're going to say, you could put it on your cabinet, well, put it on your cabinet, but don't put it on with tape. Why? Because it's special and separate and apart, and it's inspirational for my entire year. I could put it on with tape, but you know what? I'm not going to put it on with tape. I'm going to treat it with some sort of reverence, some sanctity, right? Because it's either a gift from God or it's paper, right? Set it apart. On my landing page, I'm going to have a video, I'm going to have a photo, I'm going to have a story, and I'm going to have some touch points. I'm going to launch a Squarespace account. Why? Because it's just a minimally viable product. Squarespace, simple landing page down to complete fulfillment. Order processing, everything, right?
Basically, you're building a funnel on Squarespace.
I'm just going to build a landing page.
Just a landing.
I'm not building a funnel.
Okay.
So let's see here. I'm going to start with something here. It's it makes it pretty easy. Blog for an online store. It's an online store. Oh, you know what? Something like this looks good, right? You could see how that landing, that page, the photo of this gift from God is going to be here, and then it says, instead of what's really never washes away. Okay. Or well, sorry, this says what's real never washes away. That sounds inspirational. You could just change that copy to something that sounds inspirational for you. But we're going to start here. Boop. Click the button. Welcome to my new Squarespace site. I literally, as we were talking earlier, just typed in an email address here, and I'm logged in. I didn't set this up in advance. All right, cool. I got a basic website ready to rock, and I have some pages built for me. I've got a shop page, I've got an about page, I've got a contact page. It's waiting for my site title. It's waiting for me to change out this copy here. It's waiting for me to change out this copy here, these blocks here, all this copy down here, and I can change it out simply by clicking on it. So I can go edit. Quick tip, adding content with blocks. Cool, it's going to show me how to do it even. I'm going to say, okay, I got it. Why? Because I got it. We're going to come up with some benefit, something that's inspirational. Do you have a phrase that you ever used for this?
I don't know that I really have a tagline yet.
Okay. Or I'm just going
Give
to.
the person who has everything.
Well, that's good.
I like it, but I've heard that before.
Yeah.
That's a darkness.
More than a gift.
Yeah, so more than a gift. I don't know. We'll just leave it. We'll just call it something, right? But you're going to talk with your friends and your family. And importantly, you're going to talk with people who are not your friends and family. Because there are, this is not a sad truth, it's just a brutal truth, right? primarily two types of people who are going to do business with you. People who love you and people who are not yet sure they should love you. And you're going to say, well, there are people who don't love me. They're just back in the not yet sure they should love me camp.
Okay.
Right? Here's the brutal truth. All the people who love you lie to you because they love you. I can prove this. There are television shows built on this fact. There is absolutely no reason that a person who cannot sing should be in front of millions of people in America just to find out they can't sing. Mama should have told them. You're not a singer, bud. You could be a producer, but not a singer, right? Somebody should have told you. So you got to get in front of the people who don't love you because they're going to be more likely to tell you some honest feedback. And you need the honest feedback because all the people who don't love us judge us. All the people who do love us forgive us all our sins, right? Well, that's just Bob, right? All the people who don't love Bob are like, that's Bob, right? So we got to get in front of people who don't love us to figure out some of this wording. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a photo. You're going to edit this image. See, I'm showing you how easy it is. We're not going to do this here because I don't have photos of your stuff. But if you set aside 4 hours of your time, let's say an afternoon, and you got your stuff, I got this photo, I'm going to get this video, I'm going to talk to her, right? You can just quickly add all of these components in here. Let's say I want to add a video. I'm going to add, let's see here, a video section. I'm going to make it kind of look like this. See what I did there? Don't take our word for it. Oh my gosh. And you're going to upload your video. Right? You might do double purpose on that video and go put that on YouTube as well. Second largest search engine. People might find you. So you're going to build out this whole website. It's going to be super amazing. You're going to put your products in there. Boop. I'm going to go back here. When you get an order, it's going to come into here. I know I'm flying through this. I'm choosing not to go into depth here, into too much depth here, right? If you don't know what an order is, or maybe what inventory is, or what customers are, discounts, and that type of stuff, then you're not ready. Okay? It's true. It's true. You're not ready, and that's okay. Go talk to somebody. So we want to set up payments. We want to set out checkouts. We want to talk about how shipping works. Do you want to ship this via U.S. Postal Service? Do you want it to be free shipping? Do you want to, right? You can set rules around that. You got to set up your taxes. Accounting. Do you want to put it into QuickBooks? Right? All of these things are easy to set up. You can change the design. You can change the fonts. You can change the buttons. Squarespace is not the only thing that you can do this. And then there's all this marketing stuff, all their traffic and where they came from, and all these things. And you can go off and you can go to Instagram and you can post that thing on social media and you can drive people to this landing page and you'll find out how many people came to the landing page. You'll figure out how many people went through your sales process, how many people looked on that product page, how many people added it to their cart, how many people abandoned the cart, which might give you insights into, oops, my shipping is too high or something like that, right? You'll get some insights. And then when they place an order, then you can go through fulfillment, which I'm sure you know how to fulfill it because you've done it before. Right? So what happens when we have our first order? We just make it up. We just fulfill it. And you figure out how special and amazing and separate and apart it is. And you're going to package it that way. Why? Because you promised me at the top, in the top of this awareness thing, that this was going to make my year. I spent dollars on this because I thought it was going to get me out of my rut. I spent dollars on this because I thought it was going to launch me ahead. It was going to leverage me. I needed some input from somebody other than me, right? That's your customer. You made that promise up here. You're going to fulfill it down here. And so that packaging is going to be amazing, and you're going to wrap it, and you're going to write a custom little note along with the word. You're going to do all of those things. And you might even tailor it because you gave me a little bit of a simple survey, some basic questions. You can plug those in there as part of the checkout process. These are the things that we'd think about, right? In an afternoon, do you think you could probably pull this kind of stuff together with some bullet points? Yeah. And if you couldn't, do you know at least one other person connected to you who's like, you know what, I could help you take those photos. I could help you take that video. I could help you click those buttons. You probably do, right? This is a pretty straightforward process. I wouldn't overthink it. I would set a timeline on it. Half a day, something. Really, really small timeline. Why? Because this is a completely unproven thing. And after you've had 100 people look at this thing, you'll know more. Does one person buy? Do 20 people buy? Is the cost too high? Is the cost too low? You can put a survey on the site and find out. Or you can talk to all the people who don't love you yet. And you'll find out more. Test it. This is the path to an MVP. Minimally viable product. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Get it done. If you're not even sure you can fulfill it, here's a really stinky thing to do. But if you're not even sure you can fulfill it, but you're like want to test the waters, build it. If nobody buys, despite testing it and putting it out in front of people, you'll know more and you'll have to iterate on it. And it's okay because we want to fail fast with minimal input. Because here's the thing, even as great as this is and as many people have bought it and as many people are going to buy it after you set up this site, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, something's going to change. So you might as well begin with the standpoint that I'm already wrong. I just don't know in what way and to what degree. Something's going to change anyhow, so I might as well put it out there. Right? And you don't even exactly know what's going to change because you are not necessarily your market. You don't even have a clear understanding, I think, of exactly who is in the market for this. And you'll know more once you launch it. Okay? We're out of time. That was roughly 35 minutes? It's 35 minutes. In the next 3.5 hours, you could put photos in there, you could put text in there, you could describe it, you could price it, and you could have a website up and running. Ta-da! And you could put it on Facebook, and you could put it out on Instagram.
Thank you.
I'll take questions afterwards because I know we're out of time. What we're going to do is we're going to present you for putting yourself out there with the 1 Million Cups mug. Because you had the guts. You had the guts to put forth your concept. There's all sorts of people, you know them as well, who have an idea. And you know why that idea doesn't come to fruition? For this quote, the difference between those who do and those who don't is those who do, and those who don't. 3.5 hours.
Okay, got it.
All right. Thanks for coming to 1 Million Cups. Also, thanks to Jorge for the rap battle. We'll give you a mug too.